Have you ever stood next to someone who speaks with gentle words, appears to be your friend, but deep down you feel something is off? Have you experienced that strange, almost instinctive feeling that their smile hides a shadow? Louise Hay, the beloved teacher of self-love and healing, understood this phenomenon deeply. She taught us that when we don't love ourselves fully, we often project our inner shadows onto others. When someone feels envy, resentment, or contempt, these emotions don't simply disappear. Even when disguised, they escape through small cracks in subtle but revealing signs. Today, you're going to discover 8 clear signs that someone close to you may be hiding hostile feelings, even while pretending to be a friend. Pay attention, because the 8th sign is the most treacherous of all and could forever change how you see certain people in your life. I affirm, I trust my intuition to guide me toward authentic, loving relationships. But before we continue, please subscribe to this channel and activate notifications, because in upcoming videos, we'll bring powerful reflections on personal, emotional, and spiritual growth that will support your journey of self-discovery and empowerment. Understanding these patterns isn't about becoming cynical or suspicious of everyone around you. It's about developing what Louise Hay called loving discernment, the ability to see clearly while maintaining an open heart. When we recognize these behaviors early, we can protect our energy and make conscious choices about where we invest our emotional resources. First sign, contempt disguised as jokes. Meet Sarah, a 42-year-old marketing executive from Denver, Colorado. For months, she couldn't understand why she felt drained after spending time with her colleague Jennifer. Jennifer always seemed friendly, but her jokes consistently targeted Sarah's most sensitive areas: her recent divorce, her struggles with weight, her decision to pursue therapy. "Oh, Sarah, still seeing that therapist? What's next? Crystals and meditation?" Jennifer would laugh, then quickly add, "I'm just kidding. You know I support your journey." Louise Hay taught us that when we truly love ourselves, we naturally extend that love to others. But when someone repeatedly uses humor as a weapon, they're revealing their own inner wounds. As Louise often said, what we give out, we get back. Those who consistently deliver cutting remarks disguised as jokes are usually struggling with deep self-criticism. I affirm, I deserve relationships filled with genuine love and respect. The poison doesn't always come in the form of direct attack. Sometimes it arrives camouflaged in jokes. The person uses irony, sarcasm, cutting remarks about subjects they know affect you. And when you complain, they respond, "Oh, it's just a joke. You take everything so seriously." Or, "Relax, don't you know how to have fun?" The problem is when this repeats consistently in the same sensitive areas. This isn't humor. It's a disguised form of aggression. When someone is always mocking your characteristics, they may be revealing a deep rejection of some part of their own shadow that they see reflected in you. What makes this particularly insidious is the gaslighting element. When you express hurt, they make you feel like the problem is your sensitivity, not their cruelty. Louise Hay understood that healthy humor uplifts and connects people, while toxic humor tears down and creates distance. Trust your feelings when someone's jokes consistently leave you feeling diminished rather than joyful. Second sign, veiled sabotage. Lisa, a 38-year-old teacher from Portland, Oregon, began noticing a pattern with her friend Monica. Important details would mysteriously be forgotten. The time change for their book club meeting, the dress code for a mutual friend's wedding, crucial information about a job opportunity Lisa had mentioned wanting. "Oh my gosh, I totally forgot to tell you," became Monica's signature phrase, always delivered with such apparent sincerity that Lisa questioned her own suspicions. Louise Hay reminded us that every thought we think is creating our future. When someone consistently creates obstacles in your path, they're operating from a consciousness of lack and competition rather than love and abundance. I affirm, I attract people who genuinely celebrate my success and growth. You know that person who forgets to warn you about an important detail, gives you questionable advice, or accidentally complicates a situation for you. Sometimes this isn't distraction. It's disguised sabotage. When this happens repeatedly, especially at crucial moments, pay attention. The person may be unconsciously trying to slow your growth, to avoid feeling inferior. Those who don't face their own failures often prefer to hinder others rather than deal with their own frustration. This behavior stems from a deep-seated belief in scarcity, the false idea that there isn't enough success, love, or happiness to go around. The key to recognizing this pattern is frequency and timing. Once might be an accident, twice could be coincidence, but 3 or more times, especially during important moments in your life, suggests a deeper issue. These individuals often present themselves as helpful while subtly undermining your efforts. They might offer to help with something important, then do it poorly or incompletely, leaving you worse off than if you'd handled it yourself. Third sign, silent competition. Rebecca, a 45-year-old nurse from Austin, Texas, finally understood what was happening with her sister-in-law, Karen. Every family gathering followed the same pattern. When Rebecca shared good news about her children's achievements, Karen immediately redirected the conversation to her own family's accomplishments. Always bigger, better, more impressive. "That's nice about Emma's scholarship," Karen would say. "But did I tell you that my daughter just got accepted to Harvard with a full ride?" Louise Hay taught us that comparison is the thief of joy. When we're secure in our own worth, we can genuinely celebrate others' victories without feeling diminished. I affirm, there is enough success and happiness for everyone, including me. Some people can't see others shine without wanting to dim that light. Every time you achieve something, this person finds a way to shift focus to themselves. If you share a victory, they respond by talking about their own achievement, usually bigger or better. This happens because deep down, they feel threatened by your success. When someone hasn't developed certain qualities in themselves, they tend to project that frustration onto others, transforming every conversation into a disguised competition. This behavior reveals a fundamental misunderstanding of abundance, the beautiful truth that one person's success doesn't diminish another's potential. Watch for the pattern of one-upping that goes beyond normal sharing. Healthy relationships involve natural give and take in conversations, where people share experiences and celebrate together. But competitive individuals turn every interaction into a contest they must win. They can't simply say, "Congratulations," and let your moment be yours. Instead, they immediately need to prove they're doing better, achieving more, or experiencing something superior. This behavior often extends to material possessions, relationships, and even struggles. If you mention a challenge you're facing, they'll describe a worse situation they've overcome. If you buy something new, they'll mention something better they own or plan to purchase. Louise Hay would remind us that this comes from a wounded ego, desperately seeking validation. Fourth sign, superficial support. Maria, a 41-year-old entrepreneur from Miami, Florida, realized that her friend Janet's support always felt hollow. When Maria faced challenges with her startup, Janet would minimize the problems. "Oh, that's just normal business stuff." When Maria celebrated a major client win, Janet's enthusiasm felt forced and quickly faded. "Congratulations," Janet would say with a tight smile that never reached her eyes, immediately changing the subject to something mundane. Louise Hay understood that authentic love flows naturally and abundantly. When someone struggles to offer genuine support, they're operating from a wounded place within themselves. I affirm, I am worthy of authentic love and genuine support from those around me. When someone doesn't really like you but pretends to, their support comes in a shallow, almost automatic way. When you need them, this person minimizes your problems or disappears. When you achieve something important, they fake joy, but the enthusiasm is forced or non-existent. Over time, this becomes clear. In decisive moments, they're never truly by your side. This reflects an emotional disconnection that prevents the person from genuinely connecting with others. True support flows from a heart that has learned to love itself, and therefore can love others authentically. Genuine support has a quality of presence and attention that superficial support lacks. When someone truly cares about you, they ask follow-up questions, remember important details from previous conversations, and show up consistently over time. They celebrate your wins with genuine enthusiasm and offer comfort during difficult times without trying to fix you or minimize your experience. Superficial supporters, on the other hand, offer generic responses that could apply to anyone. They might say, "That's great," but their energy feels flat. They rarely ask for details or remember what you've shared with them. Their support feels like a social obligation rather than genuine care. If this resonated, a like and a subscribe will ensure you never miss a moment of insight from us. Let's going on. Fifth sign, control disguised as care. Jennifer, a 39-year-old graphic designer from Seattle, Washington, struggled for years with her mother-in-law, Patricia's constant, helpful advice. Patricia questioned every decision Jennifer made, from career choices to parenting styles to home decorating. It all came wrapped in concern. "I just want what's best for you, dear." But Jennifer noticed that after these conversations, she felt smaller, more uncertain, less capable of trusting her own judgment. Louise Hay taught us that you have the power to heal your life, but some people unconsciously try to convince us otherwise. I affirm, I trust my inner wisdom to guide me toward what's best for my life. There are people who like to dictate the rules of your life under the pretext of wanting your good. They criticize your choices, question your decisions, and try to convince you that you always need their guidance. It seems like protection, but deep down, it's an attempt to keep you dependent. The tip here is simple. Observe how you feel after this person's advice. If instead of strengthened, you feel smaller, insecure, or incapable, be careful. It might be manipulation. Those who can't deal with their own internal chaos try to control others' lives to avoid facing their own disorder. This type of person often positions themselves as the expert on your life, despite having no real authority or superior knowledge about your situation. They use phrases like, "if I were you," or "you should really," with alarming frequency. They may also use emotional manipulation, suggesting that if you don't follow their advice, something terrible will happen, or you'll regret it later. Louise Hay taught us that true love empowers others to trust their own inner wisdom. When someone genuinely cares about you, they might offer perspective or share their experience, but they respect your autonomy to make your own choices. They don't make you feel guilty or inadequate for having different preferences or approaches to life. Controlling people often have difficulty accepting no as an answer. They may continue pushing their agenda even after you've politely declined their advice. They might also use guilt, fear, or obligation to try to sway your decisions. Remember, healthy relationships honor your right to self-determination. Sixth sign, The classic behind-the-back talk. Amanda, a 43-year-old accountant from Chicago, Illinois, couldn't understand why her work relationships suddenly became strained. Colleagues who had been friendly grew distant. Conversations stopped when she approached, and she sensed an unexplained shift in the office atmosphere. It wasn't until a trusted co-worker privately warned her that Amanda discovered the truth. Her supervisor had been systematically undermining her reputation through subtle comments and strategic information sharing during informal conversations. Louise Hay reminded us that what we give out comes back to us. Those who spread negativity about others are actually revealing their own inner state of dis-ease. I affirm, I am protected by the love and light that surrounds me always. Those who have negative feelings about you rarely say it to your face. They prefer to talk behind your back, spread criticism, or distort information. This affects your image slowly, insidiously. If you notice that people in your circle begin to change their behavior for no apparent reason, becoming colder, more distant, or avoiding contact, be suspicious. Someone may be planting seeds of doubt about you. Those who feel small need to diminish others to feel bigger. That's why those who spread gossip are usually exposing more about themselves than about the victim of their conversation. This behavior often involves sharing information that was told to them in confidence, twisting your words to make you look bad, or highlighting your mistakes while downplaying your successes. They might present themselves as concerned friends while systematically damaging your reputation. 7th sign, inability to celebrate your victories. Nicole, a 37-year-old real estate agent from Phoenix, Arizona, finally recognized the pattern with her longtime friend, Tracy. Whenever Nicole shared exciting news, a big sale, a vacation she was planning, recognition at work, Tracy's response was consistently flat and dismissive. "Oh, that's nice," Tracy would say with obvious disinterest, immediately changing the subject or finding ways to minimize Nicole's achievement. "Well, the market's pretty hot right now, so anyone could probably do well." Louise Hay taught us that resentment is like taking poison and waiting for the other person to die. Tracy's inability to celebrate Nicole's success was poisoning their friendship and revealing Tracy's own unhealed wounds. I affirm, I celebrate my victories with joy and attract others who genuinely share in my happiness. Those who like you vibrate together when you achieve something. Those who feel envy or hurt react with indifference or even disguised irritation. If you share an achievement and the person responds with a cold, "Oh, cool," changes the subject, or tries to diminish the importance of what you did, this could be a sign of resentment. Sometimes the person says phrases like, "Oh, anyone could do that," or, "Well, so-and-so did better." Behind this attitude exists an internal conflict. Seeing you win reminds this person of what they themselves haven't been able to achieve. This happens when another's success becomes an uncomfortable mirror of one's own perceived failures. 8th sign, the body language never lies. Finally, we arrive at the 8th and most revealing sign. Karen, a 44-year-old consultant from Boston, Massachusetts, had always prided herself on reading people well. But it took her months to consciously recognize what her body had been telling her all along about her neighbor Susan. Every interaction felt slightly off. Susan's smile seemed painted on, her posture stiffened when Karen shared good news, and her eyes would dart away during conversations about Karen's recent promotion. Susan's hands would clench when she offered congratulations, and her voice carried an almost imperceptible edge when discussing Karen's achievements. Louise Hay understood that our bodies hold infinite wisdom. She taught us to trust our physical sensations and intuitive responses, knowing that the body benefits from movement and the mind benefits from stillness. I affirm, I trust my body's wisdom to guide me toward truth and authentic connections. No matter how much someone tries to disguise their true feelings, the body reveals what words hide. A sideways glance, a forced smile, a voice that changes tone when giving compliments, hands that tense when you talk about your projects. These are all clues. If someone avoids your gaze at certain moments or reacts with rigidity when you share good news, pay attention. The unconscious always leaks through the body. While the mind can wear masks, the body delivers the truth. And if you feel this discomfort, trust your instinct. Often our body perceives before our reason what our eyes don't want to see. Healing and moving forward. As we conclude this journey of recognition, remember Louise Hay's most powerful teaching. You have the power to heal your life. Recognizing these signs isn't about becoming paranoid or suspicious of everyone around you. It's about honoring your intuition and choosing to surround yourself with people who genuinely support your highest good. I affirm, I release all relationships that no longer serve my highest good, and I welcome authentic love into my life. When you encounter these behaviors, respond from a place of love, both for yourself and for the other person. Sometimes people act from their wounds without conscious awareness. You can choose to have compassionate boundaries, limiting your exposure to their negativity while sending them love from a distance. Remember, as Louise Hay taught us, every thought we think is creating our future. Choose thoughts of love, abundance, and authentic connection. Trust that as you heal and love yourself more deeply, you naturally attract relationships that mirror that love back to you. I affirm, I am worthy of love, respect, and genuine friendship. I trust my inner wisdom to guide me toward my highest good. Your journey of self-love and authentic relationships is just beginning. Trust yourself, honor your feelings, and remember that you deserve to be surrounded by people who celebrate your light rather than trying to dim it. If this message resonated with you, please share it with someone who needs to hear these truths. Together we can create a world where authentic love and genuine support are the foundation of all our relationships. Thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery and healing. Until next time, remember, you are loved, you are worthy, and you have the power to create the beautiful, authentic relationships you deserve.